these songs, and they're all great songs. They're not like little kiddie songs. They're really nicely well done. And he made one for me called Superior, which is kind of a Broadway tango kind of a song where I really got to belt it out. And so that's absolutely my favorite song.
And you know what's weird? It kind of prefigured that great I'm Not a Loser song in the SpongeBob Broadway musical.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I definitely think that whoever wrote that song knew that album, you know. And I mean, not that I'm miffed about it or anything, but it's like they might have used that as a jumping off point. Like when we wrote the songs on that album, which is now 20 years old, but came out 20 years ago, me and Andy Paley, who wrote the songs, were just like, let's write a song that just encapsulates the personality of every character, because Hillenburg did the hard work of giving each character such a defined, different from each other personality that let's put that in song, you know. So Superior was Squidward's song, Best Day Ever was SpongeBob's song, like for the reasons we said before. Hey, maybe tomorrow, you know, and you know, so that's my favorite song. And I'm glad you like Superior, but that one, the SpongeBob musical, I almost would love to hear you sing it instead of the guy who
I would too. Yes. We all went to the premiere on Broadway, and I'm a lousy audience member. I wanted to be on stage so much. I just didn't want to do 8 shows a week.
Yes. Well, I saw Ethan, when I went, I saw the guy, Ethan, that played SpongeBob on Broadway. I saw him like climbing and like having to like do gymnastics, and I was like, I'm so glad I'm not on stage. I could have done that when I was 20. But yeah, I mean, nobody becomes a voice actor because they're so great in gym class, you know what I mean? So,
which is precisely where I came from. I started out in physical comedy, so I related to his stuff completely. Falling down all the time. I can still fall down, I just can't get back up.
Yeah. And I'm also, by the way, he's dating Ariana Grande. I'm not, okay? Just so you guys know, the Broadway SpongeBob is dating Ariana Grande. Yeah, so that got on TMZ and everything. So TMZ had a headline that said, SpongeBob actor hooking up with Ariana Grande. I've been married for like 30 years.
Were there a lot of questions at home?
So
like what?
Yeah, people are going, hey man, are you and Jill okay? You know what I mean? I'm like, look, I mean, do I look like like Ariana Grande is gonna look at Tom Kenney and go, wow, what a hottie. I'm going, yeah. What a man. What a man. Yeah, no. So, so that was kind of a fun, mistaken identity thing that went on for a day or so. I had TMZ blowing my phone off the hook, wanting me to comment on it, you know, I'm just like, nope.
You gotta love the internet, though. I've been reported dead twice.
Me too.
Yeah.
I've been internet dead twice. Yeah, you twice.
Us and Shatner are dead. And when we really do die, no one's gonna believe it, because look at that, our football team won and Rodger Bumpass died again.
The first time that I died on the internet, the first death hoax, I remember it like it was yesterday. My kids were little, and we were riding the Christmas train in Griffith Park. And my phone starts blowing up. Are you alive? Are you dead? You know what I mean? And yeah, it was pretty weird. Yeah.
I'm on the tracks right now.
I mean, yes. I'm dead and I'm dating Ariana Grande. Both are true.
I just thought this was an afterlife panel. So let's go ahead and open up to you guys. How about right there in the red hair?
Speak loud, please.
We should have a mic actually. So,
yeah, look at that.
Oh, good.
Hi there, my name is Girly Teen Girl. I don't think this is the slumber party. But my question is, I don't know if this is a weird question or a boring question.
We can go up there.
I know you guys are voice actors and you mostly do voice acting, and you probably have theatrical experience as well. Sort of. If there was a movie, like if someone said, hey, I'm gonna put you in a movie, like any movie you want, it could be any genre, any director, Spielberg, A24, like if you want to pull like an Adam Sandler and then Uncut Gems, like what would be your dream role and dream film?
Something that just happened to me, coming back from another Comic-Con on the airplane. Linda Hamilton, Sarah Connor, and in Terminator was across from me, and we talked. And as she was the most wonderful person in the world, not Sarah Connor at all. And I said, there's a pitch for a Squidward and Sarah Connor situation. I'm just still running it through my head.
Squidward has to go back in time to prevent SpongeBob being born.
Yeah.
Because I drive him so crazy.
Yes.
Ow. Can you say I'll be back as Squidward, please?
Come with me if you want to live. And not be bored.
Wow, that's a really good question. Well, you started out on stage and doing comedy. I did too. I started out as a stand-up. And I was trying to get into voiceover the whole time, and I just couldn't. You know, like I kept auditioning, and nobody wanted me. You know, so I did stand-up. I made a living as a stand-up. I did Letterman a couple of times. I did Conan O'Brien a couple of times. Like before I was ever doing voiceovers. You know, so I was in stuff, Mr. Show with Bob and David, an HBO series, with Cross and Odenkirk, So I had some of that, but like in terms of like a big theatrical movie, wow, that is wow. Maybe if I could be, I want to be in May, December. I want to be in May, December. I'll be December. I'll play December.
You could be in Jaws 3, People 0.
I thought Jaws. Yeah, how many Jaws were there? There was never a Jaws 5, right?
I don't think it was.
You can do Jaws 5, People 0 now.
Yeah, right.
How about right there in the front? Yeah.
I actually had a question for Roger. I wanted to see if you remember when you did this, if you could talk about the time that you voiced Doc Ock in the Spider-Man ride at Universal in Florida. Yeah, your experience, your stories from that.
It was very fun, and the ride is still going on, and it's
So it's a ride at Universal Studios in Florida, the Spider-Man ride.
Spider-Man.
And you're Dr. Octopus.
I'm Doc Ock in that, and didn't you play the Doc Ock at one time?
I was Doc Ock in Ultimate Spider-Man.
Who's the real
series.
Doc Ock?
Yeah.
So that's weird. We've both been Doc Ocks.
Yeah.
That's pretty weird. This is like a support group.
I know.
So you're in the Spider-Verse then, both of you.
Yeah.
In a sense, yes.
And I also did Spider-Man for some 4D film that they were showing at Madame Tussauds wax museums, you know what I mean? Where they had Marvel characters and it was like, you put on the glasses and they show like a 4D movie, and I was actually Spider-Man in that.
Wow.
But that's the only time I've ever been Spider-Man. But that's a great thing about voiceover. If there weren't kids here, I would say voiceover is the SH, because I played. I'd like to buy a vowel.
Let me Google that. Okay.
Vanna turns the letter around. Survey says. I think. I played Captain America. I've been Iron Man. I played all these hunky guys, monsters, robots. And like, if I was on camera, like you were saying, if I was on camera, I'd be playing like dopey middle-aged dads, maybe granddads by now, you know what I mean? No daughter of mine's going out in that bikini, you know what I mean? Like that's what I'd be doing. I'd probably be miserable. But like the great thing about voiceover is that you get to play all kinds of characters that don't look like you, don't sound like you. And even when I was on camera, I was happy as doing sketch comedy, like in Mr. Show, where I'd have like prosthetics on and stuff. I never liked to look like me or sound like me. So I guess there's a fair amount of self-loathing involved.
What I hate is when people say, "Oh, you look a little like Squidward."
No, handsome Squidward.
Oh, they don't say that part. No.
What do you do? What's your reaction when they say that?
Stop it! No, I don't look like Squidward!
I didn't come here to be insulted.
What'd you come here for?
They say the same thing about me. They go, "Oh, you kind of look like SpongeBob." They do. Yeah.
Well, it's like people that own their dogs for such a long time. They start to look like I'm doing this for 25 years. Yeah.
It's kind of like dogs start to look like their owners. Dogs and
That's what I
owners
mean.
start
Yeah,
to look
yeah.
alike. You start to look like the character you play.
See, Tom, I feel like if Ice King had a kid, he would be doing the "don't go out in your bikini" thing. He definitely do that.
Yeah. Don't go out in your bikini, but invite your friend over, have her put on her bikini, because I'm a dirty old man. Yeah. Ice King is a whack job.
So how about
A guy that has to kidnap women in order to get a date, that's pretty damaged goods.
is that not normal?
I don't do that anymore.
Dave is like, wait, what? Is that weird?
Jeez.
How about the straw hat in the back? Yeah. Oh, we got a mic for you.
There you go.
Put down the camera.
Yeah,
Yeah, thank you very much. Hey, it's great to see you again there, Rodger Bumpass and Tom Kenney.
Hi, to see you.
I always wanted to ask this because you just did Eduardo's voice. It'd be pretty funny if SpongeBob and Squidward got to meet like Professor Membrane and Eduardo. What would they actually say to each other if that was ever the case?
Wow, what would it be? It'd be,
SpongeBob, I gotta say, you are my favorite imaginary friend.
What? Who are you calling imaginary?
Not now, Squidward. I'm making toast. Ow, I'm making a souffle.
Roger, can I get one please?
Ow, please. That was his first little signature line. that I had.
25 years later, that still makes me laugh. And also, you can't go wrong with the Squidward typical.
Typical.
That comes in very handy in life too. When you just see something that's like, of course, you just go typical.
We just started doing that little convention. I kind of like it. Typical.
How about over there in the red and black?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, he's got the first 100 episodes.
Yes, I've had this.
I remember DVDs.
Funny enough, I've had this since I was 9 years old. 9 years old.
Last
Came out in
week, huh?
2009. Yeah, last week. But Tom, I remember you from Sky High in the cameo when, yeah, when you were saved from the school coming down on your house and your wife's house. That was funny. I just wanted to say that. But my question is, in one of the episodes when Squidward was trying to sell his house, and you had to play, and you and Patrick had to be Squidward. You were more Squidward than Patrick. Patrick just put on a nose and acted like Squidward, but you had a voice Squidward with the shape of SpongeBob's, head being like Squidward's head. I wanted to know how that came about and how, like, you challenge, like, you have SpongeBob's voice, but you also have to keep it, Squidward-like. You can't differentiate it between.
Well, after 25 years together, we can all do pretty good versions of each other. Again, it's kind of like a family. You can do impressions of your brothers and sisters. Your brothers and sisters can do impressions of you. You all do your impressions of your parents. That's kind of how we are. So we all can pretty much do each other. And there was one episode, I can't remember the title of it, but there was one where SpongeBob kind of had this kind of multiple personality disorder where he was turning into Sandy and Squidward and Patrick and Mr. Krabs all at the same time.
Creepy.
And yeah, that was really weird. And it had to sing a song. Had to sing a song like as SpongeBob as all those characters channeling them. And that was kind of a fun challenge. But really, we all have each other's DNA and
We all
do.
we all had to do everybody else's characters. Sometimes when they're not there for a session, the animators need the spacing of those lines on some sort of recording just to get the timing and stuff, called a scratch track. And we all, at one time or another, have to do everybody else's characters. So it's not that easy. I can't do Patrick for a long period of time because it just wrecks my throat. But in Squidville, in one of the early shows, all the cast members had to do versions of Squidward, and it was...
Yeah, because it was kind of like Planet of the Squids.
Yeah, it was very depressing because it was so easy for everybody else to do my character.
Don't get too comfortable with this. Dog with a boner. And very quickly, Sky High, funny how all the way everything's connected, you know what I mean? Like, very quickly, the Disney movie Sky High was directed by a guy that started out directing a lot of the Patchy the Pirate live segments on SpongeBob, and then he got that movie. And I was originally supposed to play, I can't remember the name of remember the villain had that henchman that was kind of like a court jester, like a Harlequin guy? That was supposed to be me, and then I couldn't do it because the cartoon schedule was too busy. So then Mike Mitchell, the director, calls and he goes, "Hey, do you want to be scared? Do you and Jill want to be scared couple? And it's just one day. It's at Warner Brothers Studios. It's down the street from your house. There's going to be a house falling on you, and you just have to look up and go, ah! It's kind of like a cameo. I'm like, yeah, we'll be there. So it was kind of the consolation prize for not being able to be the henchman to the villain. I can't remember who played the henchman eventually, but maybe it was one of the kids in the hall or something. I'm not sure. I haven't seen that movie since it came out.
How about over there in front of Mario? Over there.
I saw Luigi earlier.
Is mayonnaise an instrument?
No, Patrick, mayonnaise is not an instrument. Horseradish is not an instrument either. Too bad they didn't kill me. However, beans are very musical. You can do a symphony with that stuff.
Yeah. Mustard, on the other hand, sounds great. Sriracha is definitely an instrument.
Right there, the blue snail.
Hi, so in Fiona and Cake, you had to voice a couple of emotional deliverances. So in general, what's your thought process behind voice acting those emotional deliverances? Also, these snails are a gift for you. If you want something.
Oh, wow. It's a snail, but it's not Gary. I'm confused. Wow.
That's Gary's blind date. Gary's got a blind date with that snail later. So I think, sorry, it's a little hard to hear, and I'm totally deaf from too much punk rock in my youth. But you were saying that in Fiona and Cake, there's different layers to the Ice King and Simon and all that. You're saying in the acting. Uh-oh.
It's not on. Oh. There's emotion in the delivery, and I'm wondering what your thought process is behind those emotional deliveries.
Oh,
The voice
sure.
acting.
Sure, yeah. I mean, it's all acting, you know. It's all like for us, like, it's funny. Like some people, I think, especially people that haven't done it, a lot of on-camera actors think that you can just come in and voiceover is just reading stuff out loud, you know what I mean? But there's, it's not reading out loud. We really think about it, you know, and I still audition for stuff, and you still audition for stuff all the time, where you look at a drawing and you try to think, what would this guy sound like, you know, and you record it and you send it in. There's probably 50 other people that are great sending, you know, their best guests in, and our job, it's funny, like people go, wow, acting, that's a cool job. And I go, really? When you're an actor, your job is auditioning. Like the acting is the easy part after you get the gig.
Yeah, you got the job.
Like trying to get work is your work.
That
you
is
know
the
what I
work,
mean?
work.
So that's why it's not for everybody. You know, it's kind of like pounding. It's a lot of pounding the pavement. You know, and I still audition for stuff every day, which Bill Fagerbach, Patrick doesn't understand. He's like, why do you work so hard? I don't get it. He totally is Patrick. And I don't get it. Why do you still audition for stuff? I'm like, I have to. I'm compelled. You know, but
that is the process. That is the process.
The process.
You go to an audition, or used to go to an audition. Now it's all online. But you see the photo or a drawing of your character. You see a written description of it, and your job is to put that together into something vocal. And it's not easy. It really is not easy. Sometimes you land, you know, right in your wheelhouse, and everything is fine. I think Squidward for me was that. I just had to lucked into this certain nasality and sarcasm that Stephen liked, and so it worked fine. But so many times, man, you gave it your best, and you come away thinking, well, I got a good chance for that. Kiss of death, you know, because you're...
Right. Now, conversely, that's true. And conversely, there's stuff where I go, wow, that might be the worst audition I've ever done. I felt like I couldn't get a handle on the character. And then your agent calls and goes, hey, you booked that thing. And you're like, wait, what? You know, so, but with Simon and the Ice King, like that was, Fiona and Cake was pretty deep dive for him. Like, you know, sometimes he's Simon, who's kind of this gentle, kind of wounded guy, and then sometimes he puts, you know, when he's got the crown and he's in Ice King maniacal mode, you know, there's that too. So really it's just, I mean, you know, we get a storyboard beforehand. You know, like Roger said, it used to be all on paper, you know, but now you look, it's 2,000 pages, you know, emailed to you,
click,
and it's like a comic book, you know, it's a storyboard, you know, and I just really, a lot of times it's pretty primitively drawn, you know, it just tells you where the bodies are going to be and stuff, but I really look at those and distill those, especially with something as heavy as Fiona and Cake, because you know the whole thing is about his sorrow and his heartbreak. Like you got to make that, you got to play that real. You know what I mean? It's got to be real, even though it's in this crazy cartoon world. It's a cartoon crazy world that's real in that dimension. So you got, you know what I mean? Like you got to take, you know, cartoons are serious business. That's what I'm saying. But thanks, great question, and thanks for noticing that. You know.
Yeah, Tom really does work. To his credit, being the director also, you know, you can tell at the session that he has gone to the woodshed, you know, and which means he's prepared, and he even prepares ad libs for us, you know, and so yeah, I give him his due. I hope he's well compensated.
Well, I never have to prepare ad libs for Roger. Roger comes fully loaded with hilarious ad libs, and most of them are usable.
We used to do a thing. We kind of get streamlined it now, where we do two takes of say a page of script, and then we do what we call our crazy take, which is we can do whatever we want to do, ad lib, and we go off color sometimes just for our own amusement. And Tom has even refined that process into a wonderfully liberating way of recording our shows. So we get the chance to be creative as well as just give the animators what they want.
Yeah, as long as you get two as written, you know, like it'd be crazy. Nickelodeon would be crazy, and I would be a loser as a director if I didn't let these guys bring what they bring to the table. Like they bring so much. I mean, it's almost like really, all I'm directing is traffic. Really, you know, it's not, it's not like I have to tell Roger who Squidward is. You know, let me tell you a little bit about Squidward, Roger. This is where this guy's coming from. This is his backstory.
Shut up.
Okay, shutting up.
Well, I feel like with auditions, there's a lot more you have to think about that people don't realize, like how far am I from the character? Just that sort of thing, who you're talking to, like how quiet am I talking? How loud do I have to talk to project them? What's the real intention as opposed to what I'm putting out? So I feel like there's a lot of that too.
Yeah, as the show has gone on, we started out very monotone. Everybody was this one note that was their character. Krabs was the money thing, Plankton was the megalomaniac, and I was just monotone, blah 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 blah. Yeah, but as things go on, they give you different scenarios, they give you different emotions and different things, and so you got to spread your wings and become a more balanced character. And as the years have gone on, Squidward has become more my acting style as opposed to just this narrow little thought. So my inflection is now what I would do if I wasn't doing Squidward's voice. So.
Yeah, well, you brought so much to the character, and then you inhabited the character, and then they're like, yeah, you know, why wouldn't we let him keep inhabiting that character? He inhabits it so perfectly.
It's like the screams. They didn't know that I could scream until that one episode, and then they just incorporated. I joke during post-production that I never have any words to do. It's all efforts and screams and grunts and stuff. But
well, it's funny, like you know, as actors, we're all kind of mentally ill people pleasers anyway. You just want to do a good job, right? You just want them to like what I do, you know? Yeah. And so when you scream 25 years ago, you don't think you're going to be doing it a quarter century in the future. And like when Steve said, well, how do you think this guy would laugh? And I went, you know, like I didn't think I'd be doing it 25 years later. It's like, wow, my neck hurts, you know? But it's pretty crazy, you know? But one thing I realized is that auditioning, in terms of auditioning, like you were talking about, like when I was doing on camera and starting to transition into doing some voiceover and hoping that I could do more voiceover and really kind of wishing that I could do all voiceover and get off camera because I wasn't having that great a time, even though I was glad to have the gigs, you know what I mean? One thing was I realized that when it came to auditioning, I really hated auditioning for